Hey folks, this is Anirudh. Welcome to my podcast Talk of Thought. In this episode, I got one and only Jasmine Kaur. She's a trainee clinical psychologist and we spoke a lot of topics. All the way from Punjab protests to compassion fatigue, insecurities, loneliness, and effects of social media. A lot of interesting stuff. The episode is going to start right about. Hello, Jasmine. Thanks for coming in the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me again. I can't believe that you did, but I'm so glad that you did.
Yeah, of course. This is the round two of the podcast, right? The first podcast was audio, and this is video.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. A bit nervous, but really excited.
Yeah, it's fine. Everyone can also find the audio podcast right on the right or left. I don't know where it is, but yeah, you will find it. And it was so
Yeah, it's
awesome.
on traveling.
Yeah, it's on
For people
travel.
who don't know, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can travel without money also. You can do it by yourself. That's what we kind of told. Explode it. And since I'm doing it the second time, you can understand how awesome the guest is. Of course, my other
Thank
guests
you
are
so
also
much.
awesome. This is a friend, so I had her again. I will have her even more.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So let's talk about, like, since you went to the Punjab protest that recently happened. So I always had this doubt that when a person goes to a protest, or when they do it, they do know that they are putting their personal time. They're also putting their. It's not. Of course, it's a macro level, and through that only you can tell the government how everything is going on. But you're not sure about, like, you're also putting your own personal self over there, right? And I personally feel that whatever the contribution every individual can do, they can do it. But I wanted to understand, like, right now there are a lot of places where they can get the political views and all those stuff. So we are not like discussing that, but I just wanted to know what was your experience in the protest, like when you went there, like how was that from your psychological perspective.
Oh, okay. So, the first thing that I would really like to point out about the protest is that we cannot understand the scale of the protest by just watching that on social media. You actually have to be there to realize just how big the protest is. Just incredible amounts of people are over there, just like 10, 12 kilometers of just people in their tractors just sitting there, and you can't understand the scale of it and the power of it unless you're at the ground zero, unless you're over there. So like that's the first thing that really hit me the minute मेरे को लगा कि because I went to both Tikri and Singhu, I spent like 1 day at Tikri
Oh,
and 2 days at Singhu. So I was driving and I put a GPS saying I have to reach like Tikri border and all.
okay.
And before I could even reach Tikri border, there were like 12 kilometers of just protesters right before. So the minute you enter the border line, you see like all these farmers just staying there and protesting, and that's how you realize just how big the
Yeah.
protest is. Psychologically, again, like politically, like you said, there's already a lot of information out there, but psychologically, what I really saw was a lot of resilience, a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of community bonding, a lot of safety, an amazingly organized protest that I've never seen in my life
What?
ever. Like
Organized?
organize oh, I can just talk about just how organized it was all day long. Everything in this protest is clearly explained, clearly marked. There are volunteers at every point who are going to make you tell you where to go and what to do. Your
Oh,
traffic is not stopped, your car is not stopped. For the first time in my Delhi, I never drove that smooth. I'm not kidding. I drove more smoothly inside the protest than I ever did ever in my time here in Delhi. And I'm not kidding about it. There are protests at every barricade. They put out like signs and they
yeah.
rerouted the entire place. कि किसी को बाहर जाना है तो वो उस रास्ते से जाए, किसी को protest आना है तो वो सीधा जाए.
Oh my
And you
god.
have to like tell them कि where you want to go and all. And uh, and those protests, it's not like you pass through one point and that is it. The entire 12 kilometers stretch is connected with volunteers and they're connected on foot. So, for example, a police van has to go or an ambulance has to
Yeah.
go, they clear the path for it. Like the
Wow.
ambulance here in the protest than it has done outside.
Wow.
So that's the level of organization. And with organization about the food, about sleeping over there,
Hmm.
about making sure that everybody gets the right kind of information about safety. I have never felt this safe. Like I spent nights in Sindhu and I knew nothing would happen to me. Like
Oh.
in the middle of Delhi, I knew nothing would happen to me. It was that safe. And there was a time when I wanted to like have a chai and I wanted to go take langar, and I asked somebody, like there were a group of
Hmm.
men, I asked him mujhe udhar jana hai, the guy said I will escort you. He took me there, and they wanted to make sure that nothing happens to any woman over there. The kind of organization is incredible.
Wow. How many days were you
And
in?
3 days in total,
Oh,
like one in Tikri
oh,
and two in Singhu.
oh.
And all I saw was immense amount of resilience. They were really determined. The farmers really are here to make sure that their demands are met, and they will not return back no matter what. And it's not, and there's a, like when we think about protest and all, everybody has this idea that they're crying and they're begging, and they're
Yeah.
they're not they should not because their demands are not met, they have to be in a very bad state, but that's not the case here. They're like, we'll also take care of our mental health, we'll also be happy, but we're also still sitting here till the demands are met. And that might not be true for everybody, because we are seeing a lot of mental health stress in the
Yeah.
farmers. Obviously, it's not easy to leave the comfortable home, since nobody likes to do that. Nobody likes to leave their home and sleep on the
That's
streets.
true.
But in spite of that, the kind of spirit that they have shown, I had talked to a lot of people, and I got a very general vibe that everybody was like कि हम इधर ही हैं और हम ठीक है और हम इधर करके ही जाएंगे, बात खत्म.
Wow.
And I don't see that kind of resilience, at least not in my generation, in my people. Like,
Yeah.
मेरे को तो 3 दिन में काम हो गया. Like, I realized just how weak I am in that weather, and these people are sitting there for an entire month, and I was just
Dude, without blanket, or in Hyderabad, I got cold. And there, like in
yeah.
Delhi, it's like even more, right? It reaches the peak.
Now the weather is very very harsh. It's like it's not even a joke anymore. Just
Yeah.
it's in the cold over here is really bad. Today it was raining. You should have seen the videos. It's really heartbreaking to see all these. And those people are our own elderly people. They shouldn't be going through this. For
Yeah.
like no scenario should demand them to go through such situation, but they are, and they are going in it with such
Yeah.
passion and such commitment and such, and all of them are so generous. And if you go into the, I like, that's what I keep telling other people who haven't made up their mindset about the protest. Like, it does not matter which side you are on right now. What matters is that you go and you be with your own community. There's
Yeah.
community things are happening over there. You will get langar, you
Hmm.
will get food, you will get a free place to sleep, you will get a place where you can talk about policies and politics, you have a library, you have
Wow.
places where you can volunteer, you can there's like small recreational centers, there are tuitions happening, you can learn how to play music. It's like a
Dude.
पूरा का पूरा गांव बसा हुआ है उधर. And
It's like a summer
even if
camp.
you it yeah, in a way, but
Yeah.
with a greater purpose,
Yeah, yeah, that's
like a
that's
very very strong
yeah.
purpose. And it's like, even if you don't know what side to take on, you still need to go there to
Yeah.
listen to those people, because it's our responsibility also to give it back to the society. And if you want to give it back to the society, that's where you need to be right now, in
Wow.
spite of whatever your political inclination is.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep telling my people also, like,
Hmm.
doesn't matter what side you want to take on. It's our responsibility to make sure that the protests also go in a way that they
Hmm.
are going right now, and it's
Yeah.
incredible. Like, I am beyond impressed
Yeah.
by this.
And I never heard a protest going on like in this well organized manner. Usually, what happens in protests is they go bang on the shops, they destroy the public property. It makes first with the public. But right now, what you're telling, and back in Delhi, like this riots and all, it has a very bad inclinations. But the way you described it, it doesn't feel like the organization was any bad, and it's it's like I can't say, and I ever saw some protests like this.
Yeah, like, उनको अगर रोकना होता ना दिल्ली का, अगर
Yeah.
दिल्ली के लोगों को हालत खराब करनी होती, they could have done it so easily. There are
Yeah.
such massive number of people, they could have blocked all the borders, and सारा in and out of Delhi they could have blocked, but they didn't. पूरा
Yeah.
हाईवे का एक कोना सा लेके they have just they're standing there in line, and they're making sure that no citizen is harmed, nobody goes through a problem because of this protest.
Wow.
And they're just sitting there, and they're doing their seva, they're giving it back to the society. हमारे,
Yeah.
like, in Sikhism also, that's what they teach, to serve as much as
Yeah.
you can, and they are doing that,
Wow.
and they're ready to do that for as long as it takes. And that's just I am beyond amazed. I don't understand how they do it. Like after studying all that psychology, I still don't understand the root of the bravery. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing,
I guess
really.
I guess Indians are conditioned in a way that if they really want to do something, they don't really get practical. Like we don't have this rational mind taking over. We have this emotional self that we give much more importance, and we think that हो जाएगा बाद में.
I think yeah, that ho jayega is very pertinent in our culture. That's true. Like other people, Western countries are more
Yeah.
practical. They have to foresee all the consequences, how far it can go, and whatever. But
Yeah.
हमारा is like देखी जाएगी. जुगाड़ is very much. But this like इसमें भी I
Yeah.
don't like not in these protests. It's not about जुगाड़. It's more about कि इतना उनमें कमिटमेंट है लाइक यही करके जाना है इसके आगे देखना ही नहीं है and that is something it's such a huge learning. This is something that we've been learning. Our parents have been teaching us since our
Hmm.
childhood that you need to, if you have a plan A, you need to go all in into that plan and you need to make sure that it works, and if it
Yeah.
doesn't you try again and you stick to it. Like I'm a plan A person, I'm not a plan B person. And this protest has been showing me this, like if this is what you want to do, they will do it and they're not backing down in no way. Like today, even after the rain and such harsh conditions, there
Yeah.
was I saw a video of a woman just screaming. She's like कपड़े तो आ जाएंगे but हम ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए कि एक बारिश की वजह से हम
Yeah.
पीछे हट गए, हम नहीं हटने वाले पीछे. So that's just
Yeah.
beyond amazing for me. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like I ever since the protests have been started, I've always had like a happy outlook. Not happy is not the right word, but kind of like a positive outlook on it, because everybody is talking about the protests in a
Yeah.
more emotional and sympathetic way. So everybody's like कि कितना बुरा हो रहा है pharmacist, which is true, हो
Yeah.
रहा है, and we are supposed to empathize with their pain also. But I can't help but see the positivity of it, just the kind of like they have really shown the world
Hmm.
how protests can really happen without creating any kind of ruckus. How protests can happen by creating an entire community, what resilience is, what positivity is, what chardi kala is, what is highest mental state. They have really shown it, and I feel so empowered because of
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
And this is I tried not to talk about it earlier because I felt it seems insensitive, but now I feel like this is so important to talk about because this protest has really empowered many people who can't even be in the protest right now, but this protest has been
Yeah.
incredible.
And
So,
the thing is, since the part is not only farmers, but there are many other communities, many other spheres of people coming and trying to support them. Like you're like you went there and you saw there. So first question is that why did you and like your family join that protest? And second thing is, over there did you meet other people from you who are not farmers but they were equally engaging to that activity? Like how is that sphere came? Because they're like there are a lot of people who, when they were not farmers or not even closely related, they just saw it somewhere, they just saw something bad is happening to them, or like whatever it is,
yeah.
good or bad, let's not justify it. So like they went and supported it. Like, can you tell how was that experience of you
I
watching
have
it?
like 3 points to put in this. The
Hmm.
first one, I do come from a farmer's family,
Oh.
so I'm not like extremely alienated
Oh.
from it. My
Okay.
family is a farmer's family, so that's why most of my family wanted to join it. And
Okay.
my family is very political. They
Hmm.
have always been political, so they have in Punjab also they had joined this protest
Hmm.
from the beginning.
Hmm.
And I joined because I had support from my family. Maybe if I were alone, I wouldn't have that much of strength to do it
Hmm.
by myself. Now I do because I've already seen it, and now I feel completely safe to
Yeah.
be in that environment. So there's that. Second, yes, there were a lot of people who did not belong
Hmm.
to the farmer community but still wanted to support
Yeah.
it. In that, one of the community were the people who were from low socio-economic status, people who live around those borders
Hmm.
and who do not get enough food to eat and enough places to stay. So people were actually over there to eat good food, to eat langar, to socialize with other people. Even though they did not have like some of them, I could see कि वो इधर protest के लिए नहीं आए हैं, वो इधर इसलिए आए हैं because उनको खाना खाना है and उनको लंगर मिल रहा है और उनको अच्छी जगह भी मिल रही है रहने के लिए और उनको एक safe environment भी मिल रहा है, which our government should have done way before this protest has done. This protest has
Wow.
been incredible about like feeding any and everybody immense amount of food, like however much you can eat. So I saw that community who was there
Hmm.
to अब छोटे छोटे बच्चे भी
Yeah.
थे, and I could see that that community is not here to just for the protest, but also here to
Yeah.
take the services that the farmers are providing. And
Mm.
the third is people who are not connected to it at all, but are
Mm.
who understand just how wrong it is, whatever it is happening, and they genuinely want to support in it. And I think some of those,
Yeah.
and I do follow most of them on social media, and they have been on ground zero from first day to show what really goes over there. They are
Mm.
combating the propaganda given by the media that we have right now on our
Wow.
news channels, and they have been there. I think the only reason they are there is because they see what's right and what's wrong, and they see and they have this moral responsibility and this duty to show us the truth and show what's actually going on and really support and provide support where it's due. And I think we need more and more such people. Uh, I did have a lot of hope in last previous protest, but this protest has seen even more amount of such people, and I think that's just amazing. I am more hopeful than I ever was for India, but I am right now. Yes.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, when you went there, you spoke to the farmers, and like, when you spoke to them, what did you understand? Like, what made them stay this long over there? They don't know what is going to happen, like what they are fighting for. They may get a result or not. At mentally, what do you think went on in their head, or like how did they make up their mind that they are going to sit, they're going to do it, like
See,
this
when
long?
you're See, the problem with the protest is that, and this is where we
Yeah,
get a bit political.
yeah,
And I want to point out that I completely support farmers, and I
yeah,
am against the three bills
yeah,
put out by the government. Um, I think the most important thing that is going on in their heads is that their livelihood is targeted. Their children are going to have problems, especially the elderly. They keep saying कि हमने तो अपनी life जी ली है, but it's going to get very difficult for our own children to survive and all, and we don't want that. And that's it. Like that is the bottom line. When your own livelihood is attacked, when you're not even sure that you'll be able to survive the next economic downfall, and this
yeah,
the thing that is being brought in by the government is going to make sure that you will not survive it, then how can you not fight for it? कल अगर मुझसे मेरा सब कुछ उन्होंने छीन लिया, and like there's this third party who takes everything from me and I have nothing to lose. Farmers, the most important thing for the farmers is their lands and their whole their family and their livelihood, and if that's been taken away from them,
yeah,
then why would not they fight? What do they have to lose then? And I think that's why they are here. They're like we that's why they are like here, इसके आगे हम देख ही नहीं सकते. We have to get our demands met because there is no life after that, you know. We wouldn't survive after that, so obviously they're there to make sure that this happens, that the demands are met.
yeah.
And that is, I think, the most simple way I can explain it. If everything is taken away from you, what else are you going to do? You're going to sit and fight.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, even I want to share a story. Like with my friend, I was observing her. Like she was being following this protest and all very much. And what happened with her was like the moment she started reading about it more and more, and she's back in Hyderabad, and the protest is happening like in Delhi area. She can't literally go and contribute it, and then as she read more and more, she stayed with the the bills, whatever is happening more and more. She went to this stage, like what should I call, like is it a depression, or a stage where she's completely unhappy, and in a place where she can't contribute, but she's feeling very bad about it that she can't contribute it. Like don't you think it happens many a times also, like people read about it and they get to know something bad is happening, they can't literally go help, and they really feel bad, and their whole life becomes like black and white picture type. So like,
Like what you're describing right now is on the lines of what we call as compassion fatigue.
okay,
So,
wow,
like, what happens sometimes is that we engross ourselves so much into the news or what's happening outside. Like,
yeah,
we dive into it so much that we get consumed by it, and in a way that we can't think beyond it. And that cripples us because sometimes we can't do anything about it.
yeah,
That paralyzes us because we want to do something about it, but we don't have the resources to do it.
wow,
And that just gets too much for us to handle in a way that
mm-hmm.
we feel complete fatigue in order to
Wow,
feel anything about it. Like in the previous discussions also that we had, compassion fatigue is something that is very common, but people don't realize about it, or people don't know that this is happening. It's very like, to understand, it's very easy to relate it with physical fatigue. For example, if you want to make your body very healthy,
Yeah.
you want to go to the
Hmm.
gym, and you're thinking, I'm going to make a plan and all, and instead of going for 2 hours for one whole month, you go 10 hours straight for one whole day. What's going to happen? You will
You're
have
going.
fatigue. You will have,
Yeah.
exactly, you will have physical fatigue. It's and the difference between compassion fatigue and physical fatigue is, physical fatigue you can see, you
Yeah.
can
You
feel
can
it's
feel
something
everything is happening, and people can even understand, empathize with you. That's the main point.
people can also see ki, like, dude,
Yeah.
what did you do? You went 10 hours
Yeah.
straight to the gym. Of
Yeah.
course, you're going to have fatigue.
Yeah.
With compassion fatigue, it's more subtle. You don't realize that it is happening, but you are getting, like, there is still fatigue. When you consume yourself, when you feel, you feel so much for other people. And this compassion fatigue mostly happens in healthcare workers. It's a very, very pertinent phenomenon.
Okay.
And when you feel too much for other people, and you feel कि ये भी हो रहा है world में, वो भी हो रहा है, मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रही हूँ, and then there's another news,
Huh.
and then there's another news, and plus now the way we are getting news is like bam on,
Yeah.
like one thing, within seconds we know that this thing has happened, and it's everywhere, and everybody has opinions about it. So the
Yeah.
amount of information out there is incredible. And
Wow.
and when you pick up all those information, and you're like कि इस इधर भी हो रहा है, मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रही, इधर भी हो रहा है, मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रही, इधर भी हो रहा है, मुझसे नहीं हो पा रहा, what happens is fatigue. Your
Wow.
mind shuts down,
Okay.
and that's, we don't realize that this is happening because it's so subtle, because it's
Yeah.
in your mind. That's where all the state, the existence of it also comes in question. But
Yeah.
compassion fatigue is a very, very real phenomenon. So what happened with your friend is, when when you perceived her to be in depression and all, and when you perceived that she felt very overburdened and she couldn't do anything about it,
Yeah.
that is she getting into the fatigue of it. And
Hmm.
to combat that, it's very important, and it's very simple as well. जैसे आप एक महीने में you will
Hmm.
divide your physical ये exercise का time, you have to
Yeah.
divide the kind of information you consume also. You need to divide your energy into all of it. And maybe, like, what I do is, I keep a certain amount of hours in my day where I consume all this media. I don't do it early in the morning because it hits me really bad. And but I keep like a certain amount of time
Yeah.
separate. That's the only time when I consume all of this news information and everything that's been going in the world. And the other time, I don't think about it. And then there are other things, like the thing that you mentioned, ki, and I wrote it down also because it's so important, that she felt that she
Yeah.
couldn't contribute about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is so important because we think that contribution is only when you go to the ground zero and then you do something physically. That's your contribution, and you
Yeah.
feel कि अगर मैंने contribute नहीं करा तो nothing changes in this world. But there are a lot of things that we need to recognize in this. And the first thing is that the world is not changing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Even if you go out and you give your life for something, the world is not changing tomorrow. This is something that we really need to understand, and that is one of the first factors of compassion fatigue. We feel कि हमने 100 लोगों का हेल्प करा, बट 101 हेल्प करने के बाद हमसे नहीं हो पाया, देन वी जस्ट फोकस ऑन द 101st पर्सन. वी फॉरगेट अबाउट द 100 पीपल दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी हेल्प, एंड वी आर लाइक कि अभी 100 के बाद तो 1000 और लोग हैं, मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा. बट यू
Huh.
डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट 1000 people, because the
Yeah.
world is not changing tomorrow, and that is a fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
And the other thing about contribution is that we always we try to quantify our contributions. It's like, इसने इतना देर volunteer करा, मैंने तो बस इतना ही करा, तो I'm not good enough. But it doesn't work like that. Contribution is very, very minuscule also, as much as you can. And that's where community also steps in. It's like कि अगर मैं 2 घंटे दे सकती हूँ, तो जब मैं 2 घंटे बाद थक जाऊँ, तो I would want कि somebody can replace me. And फिर वो 2 घंटे दे, and then I get my energy back, and मैं 2 घंटे और दूँ. Not like कि मैं ही 10
Yeah.
घंटे दे रही हूँ और 10 but I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I have so much fatigue that I can't do it.
Mm.
So about your friend also, like, if she wants to contribute, only like we need to understand that only making ourselves aware about it is contribution enough.
Oh.
And after that, it depends on the kind of energy that you have, however much you want to do it. And if you're tired, stop consuming all this media for as long as you need. As long as you need. अब 10 घंटे के बाद तुम्हारा body type is different, your mind type is also different. 10 घंटे exercise करने के बाद, if your body needs a week's rest or a month's rest, do that. You have to do that. You don't have a choice. That's the same with mind.
Yeah.
And this is something, this is the baseline of it.
Yeah.
Know
Okay.
how much you can consume, know how much your energy is, know how quickly or how slowly you get fatigue, and you will get fatigue. Fatigue it's a very, very common phenomenon. The more you consume, the more fatigue it is. With age, it decreases obviously because you get
Yeah.
experience. but you need to understand what kind of mind that you have about it.
Yeah,
And yeah.
that's true. And I feel that with this, what happens is even the social media plays a major part, right, in compassion fatigue. Right now we just spoke about the protest. Like if we actually go into another view, like the moment social media is there in our hands, we can look all over the world, like whatever we have that we don't have. And I feel that sometimes things that we don't really need, the way social media portrays it shows in a way that, oh, I may also need this. Like you fall in the trap of consumerism or something like that.
Yeah.
And what do you think that how social media plays a major role in mind, like in the mind part?
It's a very, very big question because there are so many things that I could say about this. There's
Yeah.
not a single like कि इसका सिर्फ ये consequence है. There
Hmm.
are immense number of consequences that can happen because of social media.
Yeah.
The first one is like we have already discussed the amount of information that's out there. पहले क्या होता था एक कम्युनिटी में ज़्यादा पढ़े लिखे लोग नहीं होते थे एक ही कम्युनिटी में रहते थे एक ही
हाँ.
गांव में रहते थे इसके घर में ये हो गया उसके घर में वो हो गया छोटा सा इन्फॉर्मेशन होता
हाँ.
था पूरी लाइफ उस पर चली जाती थी everybody was fine with
Yeah.
it. Now you're sitting in your home, you're safe, you're fine. You open your Facebook or your social media or whatever, and you see पूरे world में क्या हो रहा है A to Z. Like you can just click on anything. Of course, Google is here, and you can know exactly just how much shit has already happened,
Yeah.
how much shit is happening right now, and what all shit we have already predicted for the future.
Yeah.
So there's already a lot of apprehension for the future. We know कि बेटा हम मरने वाले हैं, that is for sure.
Yeah.
But that is here at a point in a single second and so much that it's too much for us to like consume. And that is one problem with social media. Again, it's a positive side of social media also कि इतना easily you can get all the
Yeah.
information. That's the side of it, of course. But
Yeah.
the negative side of it so bad that you can get everything at once and sometimes you can't ignore it. Sometimes you're just like scrolling in your feed and ये भी हो गया and you're reading so much. Especially if you're following all the news channels, you keep like every few minutes you keep reading कि अब ये हुआ and all that. And obviously it's very difficult to maintain that same level of for each kind of news that you read.
Yeah.
You're bound to lose a certain kind of passion for it or a certain kind of feelings for it.
Yeah.
That is one problem that I have with social media. The other problem that I have is the level of insecurities it has
Man,
increased
yeah,
in people.
it is like crazy big. Like I feel that sometimes the main point is being manipulated to social media. Like body shaming is bad, but but the thing is, obesity is harmful for your health, and people, the way they portray it is like, okay, accept yourself as you are. But the thing is, it is going to harm your health. You have to accept, you have to work out, like you have to make yourself better, and the main points get diverted, and easily offense is being taken the moment the social media has come. I feel like the level
Yeah.
of they used to tell that मोटी चमड़ी थी हमारे पास अभी चली गई.
Yeah, offense is you're very very right about this, and like I said before, Shah Rukh Khan once said that the India is becoming a very intolerable country, and we proved it very right the next time by trying to boycott him. But you are very right about this, and this is also
Yeah.
very true that especially in the body shaming topic, when people are trying to say accept yourself, it has a very different meaning
Yeah.
than to not have enough motivation to become healthy in your life. And that's also one thing about social media is exactly what everything that we're trying to say is not conveyed in the way that it's supposed to be perceived. Everybody has their
Yeah.
own way of perceiving things from social media, and that's
Yeah.
why it creates a lot of miscommunication between people who are consuming and people who are posting. And that is honestly, I don't have an answer to this. I don't have a solution to this. How you can bridge it? The only thing that I could say is to be as authentic as you can on social media,
Yeah.
even if that means fighting your insecurities and fighting your obviously some people are a bit awkward and shy, and I'm
Yeah.
one of those people. I overthink a lot before I put on social media because there's this apprehension of constructed criticism
Yeah.
that may not even be there because nobody's actually out there criticizing me for anything that I put, but it's apprehension is still there. I'm still
There are
worried.
there are going to be
Guys.
clips of this podcast going out in the social media.
Yeah, no, but I'm serious. Like it's a constructed, like a hypothetical situation in my head that I would be criticized for saying so and so thing, and
Yeah.
that might never happen because nobody's sitting on their phones to check it just been posting what and all. But then again, I overthink so much, and that's, I think, I've actually never realized it, but it is also a negative point of social media that they've made us a bit, or like we have to
Whoa.
overthink everything that we put.
Yeah, even though, yeah, even though the reach is low, right? We think a lot before posting something. There are hardly three people who are going to care about it. That will be you, and if your mom is there in Instagram, she,
Yeah,
and few two or three
that's true.
friends. But oh my God, what did I put?
Yeah, exactly. And that also portrays this question, that why are we posting? Like, I have wondered about this question so long. Like, what is the purpose behind posting? And that's where trying to be authentic comes into play.
Yeah,
Like, I see a lot of people posting their, and this is a very personal confessions. I know
yeah.
it's a bit off track, but
It's
I
fine.
just
It's
want to
fine.
say it.
This podcast
Like,
is meant to be off track.
all right. So like, I saw somebody's post, and he
Yeah.
had posted about this wedding, his brother's wedding that he had went to, and he was very happy, and he said these were the best days of my life. And I saw it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm happy for you, dude, but it does nothing to me. And then I just started thinking that why am I consuming this people's media who don't contribute anything into my life? And I don't have anything against the guy, okay?
Hmm.
He's just a random guy who was very happy. I'm happy that he's happy. It made me
Yeah.
happy to see him this happy. But then I thought that, like, what am I doing? What is this giving me? What am I giving back? I'm giving my attention to it. He's putting out his life on social media, but for what purpose? And that just started this string of thoughts in my head to actually try to understand why are we putting our lives out there for no purpose at all. How does it matter if I went to the mountain and I'm writing a beautiful caption like, oh my god, it was amazing? Like, how does that matter to any other person? I don't understand.
Yeah. It
Like,
gives a
why? Like,
feedback. It gives a feedback. It gives, like, validation. The reason,
that is true.
I will
It
tell
does
you.
give
Yeah,
validation.
I still remember when I started Instagram. I used to post pictures. Like, I still remember I used to post picture, tag people, like do all the crazy stuff. Like, they were like every day I used to upload one picture. I used to get likes. I used to feel nice about myself. The picture had lowest likes. I understood. Oh, this doesn't go well. I have to put something even much better. And the moment I got into college, I deleted all those pictures because all of them were so cringy. I don't know why I posted them.
Yeah,
But
but that's the point of posting. Like, for example, like you're saying, if I post it for validation, for example.
yeah,
But why am I consuming it? Why am I consuming somebody else's picture of going to a mountain? I don't understand.
because that person is your friend. Or that's the reason you
We don't
followed it.
talk. We must have met like 5 years ago for one time, and after that we have no connection whatsoever. We
Yeah.
probably don't even remember each other's last name, but we're still following, and that's the kind of community that it has created. We are so closely connected, but yet so far because we don't really know anything about each other. But we're just checking, okay, what this person is doing and what that person is doing. It's like a gossip, online gossip that
Yeah.
nobody asked for, but it created on
Yeah.
its own. And now we're like trapped in it. I know this sounds really bizarre, but this is a very, very, very prominent thought in my head. I feel
Yeah.
trapped in this web which I did not know when I created it, and now I'm just consuming everybody's media and I'm seeing कौन क्या कर रहा है life में, which does nothing to me, by the way,
Yeah.
you know. And that creates, and I still feel कि ठीक है, मेरे में इतना दिमाग है that because I study
Yeah.
psychology, and also I'm very quick at picking out my triggers. So if I feel insecure, if I feel that I feel like I have low self-esteem when I watch
Yeah.
very beautiful women online.
Yeah. Huh.
So, and like all these triggers I can catch ki, okay, Jasmine, you felt bad after seeing this and all. But what about people who are not good with catching their triggers? What
Yeah.
about the insecurities in those people when they see other people just showing their best life out there, and nobody obviously shows कि उनकी life में बुरा क्या हो रहा है, सबको तो लगता है सब सारी खुश है. What about those people, who are continuously consuming other people's media and other people's life through a medium
Yeah.
which only shows the positive?
Yeah.
And the amount of authorities that must create in people is it's beyond my understanding.
Yeah.
And I think that is also another negative point of social media.
And
The fact that, yeah,
And I wanted to ask you, especially about like the topic that we touched, insecurities. Like with social media, like for example, you get insecure. Like I looked at a guy who was dancing crazy, like really good. I looked at his page, like, post. I was like, damn, this guy dances so well. Why can't I dance like him? It's the coolest thing that you can do in a college. So then what happens is, you get jealous about it. You're like, damn, man, this guy is doing so well. Like, I'm not doing that good. So, that jealousy comes into the picture, and then you overthink about the jealousy and the things that you're good at. Like, I'm good at podcast. This gets ruined somehow the other way because your mind will be thinking about it. So, how do you think we can overcome? Why does this insecurities exist? Like, what happens in mind? Like,
Right.
what are these insecurities, like jealousy, envy, anger, when we see some other people's, and we are consuming it ourselves? Usually I mute it, but what happens with most of the people is they don't do that, right?
Yeah. So that's all. That also negates the point of the validation. The
Yeah.
validation that we are receiving from people is also not always the positive validation that we perceive it to be. Just
Yeah.
because a person has liked your post or whatever or your content doesn't mean that the person actually values your
Yeah.
content, which is very scary because now it feels like a Black Mirror episode. But yes, even that validation is so hollow, and
Yeah.
we pry on it so much, you know. And the other thing about the insecurities is that insecurities arise from a place of not completely understanding
Hmm.
who you are and why do you feel a lack of something. Jealousy, anger, all of these are very normal emotions. Everybody goes through them. It's not something that is just unique to
Hmm.
certain amount of a certain population.
Hmm.
But if it increases beyond a point where it becomes difficult for a person to operate in his day-to-day life, and the person is only feeling jealous and only feeling low कि मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ and other people are doing it, that's where the problem arises. That's where
Okay.
we need to ask ourselves, why are we feeling insecure? Why is this hitting me so much? What is lacking in my life कि मेरे को लग रहा है कि मैं I'm not good enough, as good as that person. And that is the problem. Like, some people are very good at showcasing their strengths, and I think we've come to a point in our lives, especially this generation, that we've forgotten all those prime values given to us in the previous generation, especially from our parents' generation. They always said that some people would be good at something and other people would be good at other things. This is a very, very basic thing. But we have forgotten that because we have just tried to quantify everything.
Yeah.
कि वो अगर वो अच्छा डांस कर रहा है मैं तो हिल भी नहीं पा रही, I'm not flexible, I'm not good enough. But it doesn't work like that. Then you're good at something else. You need to focus on your strengths. And a lot of people, like all these big achievers, have always said that you need to focus on your strengths and not on your weaknesses. And then that's very true. You need to just accept your weaknesses. Sometimes, it's the same thing about body type and mind type. You just have a different mind type. You just have a different body type. Things that you have, the other person doesn't have. But we tend to compare ourselves only in that small parameter, and we
Yeah.
stick to it so much that we just bash ourselves कि हमें ये चीज़ नहीं आती, you know. And this is uh, the problem with this is that because some people are good at showcasing their strengths, they also get that kind of validation. And what social media very slyly has done is that it has quantified validation, and that is something that has never happened before. For example, when we were growing up, we knew Bollywood was a big thing.
Yeah.
All these big stars, all these Khans and Kapoors,
Hmm.
they received a lot of love. Everybody knew them. The entire country, we're a billion population. Everybody knows them. We knew that. But we didn't understand the gravity of it. We just didn't understand just how huge the love is. Now, social media, you can count the number of followers, you can count the number of likes, you can count the number of comments, you have quantified it. And that way, it has become much easier to compare. Now, obviously, before 10, 12, 15 years before, Shah Rukh Khan was at the top, and he's the biggest star. Everybody knew it, but it did not affect us because we couldn't see it every day.
Yeah.
हमें दिखता नहीं था कि उसके घर के बाहर कितने लोग खड़े हैं. Nobody was going and checking every day.
Yeah.
Now, within a single second, you can see how many followers he has, and that's it. That's where that's where it crushes you, because you started to quantify everything, and you can actually, there's evidence of it. पहले जो hypothetical attention दिखता था लोगों को, अब वो actual में दिखने लग गया. And that is the problem. That is where insecurity also increases. Now it's like उसको ज़्यादा attention मिल रहा है, मुझको attention नहीं मिल रहा है, मैं good enough नहीं हूँ. I see a lot of people who have very good pages and content on Instagram, not and don't have a lot of followers, but they put this out कि मेरा content इतना अच्छा है, why am I not getting followers? And that makes me so sad because that's the problem. That's the subtle problems. You have quantified validation so much, you have quantified attention so much that now you're actively seeking it. And you
Yeah.
feel ki if it's not here, then you're not good enough.
Yeah.
And that's where all these
Yeah.
insecurities and all also
Hmm.
stem from,
That's
which is
true.
very scary.
Hmm. But also the content creators like who put that what you told, it is because it can also be check to their content, right? Like their content is good, but good is subjective. Like what you're putting out might not be like other person doesn't want to consume it. Like that worthy content. Like for example, if that post is not that engaging, and that can be like a positive criticism that they have to improve on that art. Like of course comedy movie would have a lot of collection, but art has its own place in that way.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like for sure. Like the pages that I'm talking about is that like two similar photography, landscape photography pages, for example. One has
Yeah.
1 million followers and one has like 1,000 followers. So that
Yeah.
1,000 person feels कि मेरे photos भी तो are almost the same as that other
Huh.
person's photo. So why am I not getting engagement? So usko that the person starts feeling कि something is wrong with me. Maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe my photos are not good enough.
Huh.
And the problem with individualism that we are going through right now is a
Huh.
major problem, is that the only way to understand if your content is good
Hmm.
is through feedback.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
कोई माँ बाप नहीं बैठा है पीछे समझाने के लिए हमें कि because the whole line is changed now, just
Yeah.
especially with the content creation, the entire this is a new segment that has come that we hadn't seen before.
Hmm.
So all of this इसको सीखने के लिए and समझने के लिए, if you're on the right track or not, you don't have a godfather, so you only rely on feedback. And when you don't get a feedback, that's also like a negative
Hmm.
effect. It
I
has a
know. I
negative
know.
effect on the person.
I've been
No,
that.
no, but you shouldn't. That's where confidence comes in.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
you need to
Yeah.
be.
And the funny part with me was the post that I put out. That was I didn't put much mind, and it was just a post that I wrote because I have to put that day something out, and that was
Yeah.
there, and it got like crazy number of saves and likes and everything. And then I put out a post that I really liked. Like I was like, damn, it actually has a good content in it, because I know, right, I was the one who made both of them. And when I looked at that post replies, it was like nothing, no one understood it. Like there was this thing I wrote about Anand Gandhi, like no one saved it, no one sent it, but then back somewhere it was about some other creator, so many saves, so many sent, so many comments. I was like, damn.
So now that's the difference between authenticity and now overthinking something and thinking maybe this is good and
Yeah.
maybe that is not good.
Yeah.
But again, I think for me both is okay. You should always also overthink, not overthink, but think before posting.
Yeah.
But also be as authentic as you can, and
Yeah.
also not care about validation. Like that is where you will have the most joy.
Yeah.
When you post and you don't keep checking key how much reactions it has
Yeah.
got, that's where the true power lies, and that's where the true confidence also lies. And as it is, nothing is permanent.
Yeah.
I'm not a very big fan of that's why I don't have like a career plan and all, and I don't stick to a straight path ki aise hi karna hai and you have to achieve these milestones to reach at the top and all. I'm more like I will do what makes me feel happy. If I reach my milestones, good enough. If I don't reach, I don't care because I'm happy right now. And
Hmm.
and this is something that we have lost because of social media. It's more about
Hmm.
reaching that stages instead of just the pure joy of sharing
Yeah.
your life with other people. And that brings me back to my first point. Why are people sharing? Like, I wish people would share because they genuinely wanted to share their lives with other people, and they would open their hearts and say, dude, I was really happy today. Maybe, let's have a conversation about this and all. I'd be more happy to consume that media than to see somebody really happy and taking a hike. And I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? But I still consume it. That's the problem. I still need to think about it, why I do this, but yeah.
Yeah, I also do that. I do it with a lot of meme pages. I'm like,
That's entertaining.
yeah,
That
yeah,
gives you something.
yeah, that's true. And yeah, right, like it happens a lot of times. Like, but whatever the content I consume, it most probably I have the reason that I follow this thing, like, following people or anything.
Yeah.
I do have a clarity about it. But the whole social media sphere and the things, it's helpful for me at least. Like right now, since my work is related to that sphere, right? When I go to social media, I'm like, अबे यार अभी काम करना है मुझे लोगों को मैसेज
But
करना
that's good. Yeah, like you have a a purpose to be on social media. That also, I'm sure that it would make you more happy to be spending your time on social media. If you were just mindlessly scrolling and consuming things that do nothing for you, it would not be good for you.
Yeah.
But if you have so much clarity, ki, why am I following this person, and you're consuming its media, this never been a better medium
Yeah.
than what we have
Yeah.
right now,
And
and it's incredible.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
We
And even
haven't touched the positive sides of it. I do believe in positive sides of social media as well. I only don't have negative, that's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But
yeah.
because we haven't touched it, I haven't spoken about it. I just want to say it out there. So don't come at me telling me that I only talk negative things about social media.
The good thing is removed. We are going to make
Don't do that,
controversy.
yaar. I think I need to record it also. How can I do?
You can't do that. You're not the host.
Yeah, but don't do that to me, yaar. I swear, I do have positive stuff to say. We're just not talking about it.
Yeah, that's the reason I am covering the positive side. Like, what was that? Good man, bad man, something, some game that they played. I forgot. Yeah, good cop, bad cop.
Don't do that. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah,
with the insecurities and all this part coming along, I feel that at last what happens to a person is they feel lonely.
that's true.
Yeah. Like,
And now because of the pandemic, even more.
it has even increased. Like, just imagine, like, at least when you were in college, it would be like college or like wherever you're working at, it would be like an escape. But right now, because it's a pandemic, you're locked down, social media is getting toxic to you, you try to put it away, and then you are like completely lonely. Because with anything with purpose, you like right now, you need some digital thing, right? Like anything to execute that has a proper purpose. In pandemic, of course, you need to do something with laptop or phone, and that is itself is toxic, and a person goes through this loneliness. So I don't want to ask you loneliness with regard to social media, but I wanted to ask you loneliness as a subject. What is it in mind, and yeah, loneliness as subject, and then we will go through different parts of loneliness, like when you're alone, when you're in completely different city, how does it feel? Because I am going to have this experience in future when I do MBA in abroad, and also loneliness with social media that we spoke about. So
Correct.
yeah.
See, loneliness is
Mm.
again something that is very common. That
Mm.
is something that will happen at some point in everybody's life. I also believe that loneliness is a very powerful medium to know who you really are
Mm.
and how and what kind of life you want to lead. And if dealt properly, loneliness can be a friend. If
Mm.
not, loneliness could be really fatal for many. UK, for example, has a very it's a bigger pandemic in UK of loneliness than it is of coronavirus,
Oh.
and loneliness is something that is not very much talked about because everybody's like कि ठीक हो जाएगा, go make a friend and you'll be fine. Like क्या problem है, हम है तो है, घर वाले is like हम किस लिए बैठे हैं, अगर आप you go to your parents and you say you're lonely, you will get chappal soon. So
Therapy
this
doesn't
is not
exist
some
there.
yeah, that's yeah, exactly. So like you can't this is not something that you can easily talk
Yeah.
about. You can't go to your best friend and you say, I feel lonely, because the best friend will probably say कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ इधर. But that's not how it works. You can feel lonely even when you have people around you. And social media and pandemic definitely has been a catalyst in loneliness in
Yeah.
people, because now we have been pushed and we have been forced to stay by ourselves in an environment that we only used to come back to at
Yeah.
nights after our work, but now we have to be there all the time, and it
Mm.
has like starting में तो मुझे लगता है सबको मजा आ रहा था, everybody's baking and all, but slowly when it became like too prolonged, it started to create
Yeah.
negative repercussions. What I would want to say about loneliness is that loneliness is something that can give you a very strong insight into who you are and why did you ever or will in the future feel lonely. What is the
Wow.
reason for you to feel lonely? Okay. Sometimes like there are types of loneliness. Of course, there's like emotional loneliness where you feel like nobody's understanding of you, and even if you have like lot of friends around, you feel कि कोई मुझे समझ नहीं रहा है, nobody is like me, and I'm very different from my tribe, and I can't find that one connection who really truly understands me.
Hmm.
And then there's like social loneliness where you don't have friends, only like especially when you move to different city, like you said, if you move abroad in the beginning, in
Yeah.
a couple of first few months, you might go through that where you don't find friends. And then there's other kinds of loneliness. Sometimes you just feel existential lonely, like, life ki, what is the purpose of life, why are you here? And you feel ki you don't have the answers. For me, loneliness is like lack of inspiration. When I'm not inspired, when I'm not motivated, when I'm not moving in a direction that I feel that I'm supposed to move in, I feel lonely. Even if I'm with the best crowd, even if I'm with my parents, my friends, whoever I'm with, if I'm not happy from within, and if I'm not inspired and happy with myself from within, I feel lonely. And I feel, for me, loneliness is like a part of me is not there that's supposed to be there. A happy part of me is not there where it's supposed to be there.
Hmm.
And that came after I had gone through like a long tenure of loneliness, and that's when
Whoa.
I realized that this is what is happening. Oh yeah, I have been like so lonely in my life. And I make a lot of jokes about this because I understand where that
Yeah.
loneliness came from. Some of it was a choice, some
Hmm.
of it was forced because of the environmental situation, some of it was a mix of both.
Oh.
So that made me think a lot about why I feel lonely. And that happened also a time when I was in a very good relationship. I
Hmm.
had the best of friends, and I was going where I wanted to go in my life, but I still felt lonely. And that's when I realized that it is more about me being happy with myself, and me being that inner person being content,
Hmm.
that would provide me that kind of companionship that
Hmm.
will remove the loneliness than any other person who was around me.
Oh.
So like that's what I mota think about loneliness.
Hmm.
I think it's something that we need to talk about more. I think it's something that we need to discuss and think about and understand more. We don't understand loneliness as
Hmm.
of now. It's very difficult to understand loneliness because there's a lot of shame involved in loneliness, I think, because a lot of people are like, किसी को भी, like I said, किसी को भी जाके तो बोलोगे मैं lonely हूँ, there is like कि हम है तो हैं, why are you feeling lonely, and the person would also start thinking कि हाँ यार क्या problem है
Hmm.
मुझे,
Yeah.
why am I feeling this way? And when somebody else makes you doubt your own thoughts,
Hmm.
that's where a lot of shame comes in, even though you're
Yeah.
not supposed to feel shame, even
Oh.
though there is no reason for you to feel shame, but when there's society against you telling you that what you're thinking is wrong,
Hmm.
even though it's not wrong, that's where a lot of shame and a lot of guilt and a lot of judgment comes in, and
Hmm.
that just increases the amount of loneliness. Imagine a person already feeling कि मैं मेरे को अकेला लग रहा है,
Hmm.
and the other society tells you कि नहीं नहीं तुझे गलत लग रहा है,
Hmm.
you are not lonely, and then and the person is like कि ठीक है, maybe they are my well wishers,
Hmm.
obviously maybe they want the best for me, maybe they are right and I am wrong, and then the shame and the guilt and
Hmm.
all start, but the loneliness is still there.
Yeah.
Person
Don't
is
you
still
think
lonely.
it gets affected by overthinking also? Like many a times, what happened with me was I felt I was lonely, but the moment I started doing work or I got into other stuff, that went away. Like that loneliness, I got distracted.
Yeah, but don't you think like you used interventions to tackle with your loneliness and not the fact that the loneliness was not there? Maybe the loneliness was there, but you used healthy mechanism to deal with it.
Yeah.
It was
That.
still there, no?
Yeah. 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 I don't
It's
think so. I mean, I think I wasn't lonely actually. I was just trying to. I was just quoting it.
loneliness also comes with a lot of
Yeah.
like low motivation, low emotional
Yeah.
state, where you feel
Hmm.
a bit exhausted also physically and mentally, where you feel like you don't
Yeah.
belong somewhere. That like in Maslow's hierarchy, we understand the importance of community love and belongingness, where you feel that you don't belong in a certain environment or you're not wanted somewhere, that it creates uh, that is harmful for you and your mental health. And that's the difference between loneliness, solitude, and just mere boredom.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Maybe,
okay, okay. Yeah. Can we define it? Because I'm
okay.
confused.
Uh, so loneliness is always negative.
Hmm.
If you feel lonely and if you feel that it's not going well for you, you feel low emotional, your emotional state is very low, you feel not inspired, you feel like you don't belong somewhere. It's not a choice. Feeling lonely is not a choice. Solitude is a choice.
Hmm.
Solitude is more of a positive state of mind where you choose to be with yourself, when you're introspecting, where you're like you want to do something with your own thoughts and your own mind, and you want to sit with yourself, you want to have peace of mind. That's more positive.
Hmm.
Solitude is a choice. Sometimes it can be forced upon you, but it's still always positive. Boredom is just like boredom.
Hmm.
You don't have anything to do and you're
Don't
thinking
do
what you want to
anything.
do with
Just.
your life. Yeah, and you just want to chill, and even not chill, but You have the energy and you have the motivation to do something, but you're not finding what to do.
Hmm.
Boredom is more that. ठीक है
Okay.
कि you really want to do something but मैं बोर हो रहा हूँ, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, तो you don't have that thing to do but you still have the energy, so it's still positive, it's still, there's still a containment of energy in boredom that you do
Hmm.
not have at all in loneliness, and you have a little bit in solitude but you don't use it because you want to be with yourself. So
Wow.
that's the difference between the three.
Wow.
And loneliness, yes, we
Hmm.
need to talk a lot about loneliness.
With your own experience, how did you used to tackle with that loneliness part then?
I used to cry a lot.
Okay.
The bear talk. I used to cry a lot. I am a people's person, and that's
Yeah.
when I realized I'm a people's person. I had been lonely first when I started traveling. Traveling was not easy in the beginning. Of course, there were a lot of times when I had to just spend time with myself. So I felt lonely. I cried a lot. I was questioning my own life choices. I was thinking I left my family and my friends behind to go on this venture, and at the end of it, I'm just feeling lonely. What's the point of it? But then to combat that kind of loneliness was to understand the purpose of it. Why did I go out on this venture in the first place? And that's the same advice I would give you. When you will go to abroad to do your MBA, you will feel lonely and you'll be thinking, "मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ इधर? Why am I here? My friends and family were back home." And then you'll remember, I came here because I wanted to do something for my career. And doing something there is much more important than this feeling that you have at the present moment. So you triumph with that. You live to learn, like you learn to live with that. It
Wow.
doesn't mean that loneliness goes away, but you learn to incorporate that in your life and it becomes a part of your life. There were many times after that when I was lonely, especially the times when I got sick. But again, I remembered why I was there. So it did not hurt me as much. I accepted it. And the acceptance is the baseline. It's the first thing that you can do. And
Wow.
after that are the strategies that we can use to
Hmm.
elevate loneliness, which I can talk about later.
Yeah.
The other thing about the other loneliness I felt was when I moved to UK and when I didn't have friends and I didn't have family around me. And that's when I realized that I'm lonely because I don't have community. And that's when I realized that, okay, I am a people's person, however much I say I'm a solo traveler, but at the end of the day, I want to be around my people, whoever they might be. So that's how I combated loneliness. I questioned myself, why am I feeling lonely? What is the reason for me to feel lonely? And that's when I transpired to a fact that, okay, my own, if I'm not inspired, that's when I feel lonely. So the way to combat is accept that it is there. Most of the people don't accept it. Trust your feelings, that if you feel that you're feeling lonely, trust it. Don't let anybody else tell you that what you're feeling is wrong.
Hmm.
Never ever let anybody else do that to you. Third is to understand the triggers of it, to understand why you feel lonely. What is the base of you feeling lonely? What is the real root cause of you feeling lonely?
Hmm.
And fourth is to devise a plan according to it. Obviously, everybody's reason for being lonely is very different. So everybody's strategies are also very different. So once you understand the root cause of it, you can do something to either change it or learn to live with it. And
Okay.
that's about it. Yeah,
Wow.
that's how
And
you can.
so, how can we fall in love with ourselves that we start enjoying the loneliness? Not loneliness, it's called solitude. I'm a very
Uh,
good student.
you are. So, we learn to love ourselves? That's a very good question.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of a very mature answer to
Yeah.
this.
Do you enjoy
I think
solitude? Do you love yourselves?
yes, for sure. It came after a very, very long struggle,
Hmm.
for sure. But I think I can say that I've come to a point where I enjoy
Hmm.
this person, whoever this person is. I am a very existential person, so I still question, who am I, and the
Hmm.
big questions of life. But I still am very
Hmm.
completely content with who am I at the present moment, and I do enjoy solitude. That's also true. How can you love yourself? I think as big as this question is, the answer is very, very simple. It is to understand what do you enjoy to do and do more of it, as much as you can of it, to a
Okay.
point where you start enjoying just being with yourself, to a point where you feel that you do not need any kind of dependency on any other person, any other thing, any other
Okay.
environment, and you can just do that for yourself. And to gain confidence and to gain skills and to gain all kind of resources that you need in that particular niche. And when you put your, like, I say that when you shine with that bright like that bright light within yourself, when you
Hmm.
found that light and you shine with it, that's when you truly enjoy being who you are. And
Yeah.
to shine bright, you need to find that light.
But
And to find
the,
that light,
when I enjoy more is doing a podcast, but that I need a person. So it's not like I'm happy with myself, right? Like for everything, there would be something opposite relation would be there. Like if you, apart from things like you drawing or writing a poetry, most of the art forms, like you need a audience for that, right? Like I like doing this, but it doesn't mean that I'm happy with myself. It can also mean that I need people to talk to, learn. Dependency came here, that I needed
right.
you to do a podcast.
So, okay. So this goes beyond the question of liking yourself. So are you telling me that if you did not find anybody credible to come on your podcast, you will not love yourself?
No, what I mean to tell is, when I
Listen,
was,
listen, listen,
yeah,
listen, 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 listen.
okay,
Sorry, sorry to cut you, but I need you to listen to this.
okay.
So, because you're already uh, giving energy into something that you love,
Hmm.
you're already putting a certain kind of time, you're investing certain kind of time and resources and your
Hmm.
intelligence into it. Because you're already on that track, it already gives you a sense of confidence and a sense of love towards yourself, because you have a responsibility to also manifest all the desires that you have within yourself. So you're already on that path. What you're describing right now is success and failure. You might fail by not finding people who would come to a podcast. You might fail as an artist and nobody buying your paintings. You might fail as whatever profession. I might fail as a clinical psychologist when nobody will come and take therapies from me. But it's not about the success and the failure that I might achieve in the
Yeah.
future. It's about the fact that the process, it's about the process. I involve myself in the process of becoming a psychologist. You involve yourself in the
Hmm.
process of becoming somebody who could host podcast.
Yeah.
And that's where who you are comes in. And
Okay.
after that, the success and the failure, all of this is growth kabat, you know,
Okay.
to change your strategies, to change वो that does not come into loving yourself. That is, वो तो career guides would tell you better how to do that,
No, no,
you
no.
know.
The proper question would be this, that, for example, my fun, my enjoyment has a dependency with people. Like, for example, this
Right.
needs a person to me to do it. And if that is not satisfied, how can I find happiness in myself? Like, for example, if you
Right.
want to do a drama, you need certain people, or you need a stage where you can do the drama and like yourself. For a person who is an actor, for a person who is a performer, for him, how they can fall in love with themselves, or they can find peace with themselves. And the reason I'm asking you is because you told you're a people person and you are a solo traveler. It's like two different things you're weighing together, so you can
Yeah, but
answer.
yeah, like in solo traveling also you meet people. So
Yeah.
I do gravitate myself to meeting new kinds of people. That's where
Yeah.
my people person comes
Yeah.
in. But to answer your question, see, again, I'm gonna say that, for example, if I'm a dancer, okay, what you're describing right now is your dependency on loving yourself, loving yourself, being dependent upon the outcome of life.
Okay.
That's what you're explaining right now. Ki if only I find somebody else and because of that, I'm able to fulfill my passion, that's only when I will be
Hmm.
happy and in love with myself. I am saying ki that is a very detached word. You need to detach yourself from that.
Okay.
This is a dependency that you're forming, or I will be forming on an external circumstance
Hmm.
that may or may not happen.
Hmm.
And because of that, I will decide if I love myself or not.
Hmm.
I am saying ki go into your room,
Hmm.
shut yourself out from the outside world. Do not be dependent on your environment, on whatever career path that you've chosen,
Hmm.
and then find something to do that you really love. That could just be meditating, that could just be understanding who you are, that could
Hmm.
just be drawing a small picture, that could be listening to your favorite music, that could be just reading new books, that could be just dancing when nobody's watching, that could be taking a very relaxing shower, that could be taking care of your own health and your own body and mind,
Hmm.
separated from the external environment.
Okay.
So you are saying कि अगर मुझे नहीं मिलेगा थर्ड पर्सन, तो मैं पॉडकास्ट नहीं कर पाऊंगा, तो मैं खुश नहीं रहूंगा. I am saying that is where a problem would arise. That if you fail into something, will you stop loving yourself?
No.
That's where the exactly that's where the you where that's where the detachment comes in. Even if you fail, you still need to love yourself, and for that you need to do something that is just for yourself.
Yeah,
You need to
okay.
figure out who you are, your strengths, and you need to do just that for yourself that nobody can take from you. You know,
Okay. Hmm.
that's where you love yourself, and that's where you find what you really, really like to do.
Oh. So what do you do for this? Like to love yourself?
It's what- okay.
It's like a therapy session,
The
right?
very yeah. I do very simple things. I go for a walk. I listen to the music that I really enjoy.
Hmm.
I listen to the music on the type of mood that I have.
Hmm.
I clean. I I don't
Wow.
like sometimes my inspiration comes in being messy, but my happiness comes in being organized. So I clean.
Wow.
Uh, I go see my friends. What else do I do? I draw a lot. I don't put out my art anymore because now it has become more of a personal thing for me to
Wow.
uh, elevate my low mood. So I draw when I have to,
You
and
do
I
that mandala art, right? Did I get the name right? Yeah.
mandalas. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you like?
So mandala.
When did you get into this art form? Like, how does it feel doing that?
It's a very meditative practice. It's
Oh.
what I can tell you because mandala art comprises a lot of making the same patterns again and again. So you're literally just meditating and you're slowing down your life and your whole process and your physical and your mental process just to focus on that one little detail that you're
Hmm.
making, and that comes into mindfulness. So you're like completely mindful about the thing that you're doing. So that is my meditative practice. So I don't have to like sit and chant or do anything. I can just draw and my meditation is done for the day. So yeah, that's what mandala art is. Mandala is mostly like a circular form of art,
Okay.
and it's like quite common in all the religious
Hmm.
scriptures that we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, that's what I do. Like I do like simple things. You don't have to combat loneliness by doing big stuff. You know,
Hmm.
you can't possibly believe कि जब मैं famous हो जाऊंगा तब मेरा loneliness चला जाएगा. You know, when I will have millions of followers, because if you're thinking कि followers मिलने के बाद तुम्हारा loneliness चला जाएगा, then that is just an escape strategy. Then you're not sitting with yourself and finding the root problem
Yeah.
of your loneliness. Then you're not questioning yourself कि for future hypothetical scenario में how will you find, you know,
Hmm.
your not the feeling, that feeling of loneliness to go away. You need to find that feeling here right now, and for
Hmm.
that you need to ask yourself what to do.
Wow.
Why is this happening?
Wow. Okay. So the solution is figuring out a way in which you are only involved in it. Process. Like when you write, you don't need a person. You can write it for yourself. Doing
Yes, of
something
course,
that
of course.
no one is involved, and the moment you do it, you like it, and the more you do stuff like this, it will build on the skill, and also you will feel happy about it.
Also, this is one of the ways. Of course, you can involve other people. For example, तुमको पसंद ही stand up comic करना ही है, तुमको उसी में मजा आता है.
Hmm.
So you go on a stage and you do, but you don't rely on the feedback. That's
Wow.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
you don't
Got it.
rely on how it goes well or it doesn't go well. You
Wow.
don't rely on the external circumstance. You only rely on the process of just doing it.
Wow. Okay.
Like
Actually,
like
हाँ समझ गया. Actually, I have मान यार मैं हमेशा इंटरप्ट कर देता हूँ.
but it's good. Yeah, no, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, so when I started the podcast, initially it was just because like I was getting my friends on, I was talking to them, and the only point of the podcast was I will get listeners, I don't get listeners. I never used to see that. It was just that मुझे बात करना अच्छा लग रहा है, podcast कर रहा हूँ. Like podcast is a medium through which I can ask, or else I can't buy 2 hours and 1 hour of time in anyone's life that I don't even know. तो किसी को भी अच्छे लगे, like I wanted to learn from someone, I would just text them, ask them to come, talk to them, and that's all. उनको पसंद आया नहीं पसंद आया, like I don't used to care anything, audience का नहीं, guest का नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं. The questions I want to ask, I used to ask shamelessly any question that I wanted to ask, क्योंकि I don't know after the podcast वो बंदा बात करेगा नहीं करेगा. So यही 2 घंटे he can't run away, he has to be on call, it's getting recorded. I used to ask everything and it used to get done. But क्या हुआ मालूम, like the moment I was done with like 20 or 21, and the moment it started getting like it started evolving and I got opportunities to talk to anyone that I want to, most of the sphere, मतलब दोस्त के दोस्त ने किसी को भी, मैं बात कर सकता हूँ. At that time I used to start getting that, अरे यार मतलब the moment I ask they should compliment me telling that I asked you a good question. Like you know that came in, and then I'm like, dude, like the point of starting was not this. Now it's getting a bit toxic. You have to make sure. So I just got into writing again. Like now I again started writing, or like putting my thoughts into words and trying to do that stuff. So that's how the evolving part took place. It was.
But I would still say that it's not wrong to think in a way कि मैं जब सवाल पूछूं the other person should validate my question. It's not wrong because it's the part of the growth, because now you've chosen it as a career. अब जैसे the content creators हैं,
Yeah.
उनका career ही तब बढ़ेगा when they will receive more followers and they will receive more engagement. So they make content in a way that it happens. So there's nothing wrong. So obviously they will think also, they will overthink also, they will try to curate it in a way that brings them the engagement that they require, and that's the same with you. If you think that your host will think that you had good questions, it will help you in your career and your growth. It's not wrong, but if your happiness is dependent upon it, if your self-love, your self-esteem, your confidence is dependent on it, that's where it gets problematic. That's where you need to detach yourself. कि my career and my life, all of this, मेरा career, मेरा काम and all of this is a part of my life, but it does not decide the happiness of my life. It does not decide the self-love that I have for myself. I could be the biggest failure out there, but I'd still be happy and content with who I am right now and the kind of person I am right now, because I know who I genuinely am. Because I did everything I could. I failed. It's fine. It's okay. It's a part of life. Failure and success are a part of life, but you shouldn't quantify your or qualify your esteem and your confidence and who you really are and your love for yourself based on the external circumstances. And that's the whole crux of it.
Wow. मुझे अभी भी समझ में आया. No, because
आ गया ना लेकिन
समझ में तो आया. It's fine. I have to feel sometimes bad, like that if I don't judge myself, if I'm not a little harsh on myself, I can't grow. मतलब like ये चीज़ को और करने के लिए I need to have motivation also, right? So the motivation only comes when like the moment you start growing, like automatically आ जाता है यार इसको impress थोड़ा तो करना है. Like
Exactly.
it's not a main motive, but trying to be like
it's
better.
a part of growth. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Like if you want to be a good speaker, you need to speak good.
Yeah.
And you will need to find skills to do that. There's no way around it. But if you don't make it as a good speaker and you're thinking कि I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy of this life and all that's where the problem is. Self-love should never, in my opinion, self-love should never be in question. Self-love should always be the prime thing that you have within yourself, your own confidence, because at the end of the day, it's you. I don't like this line, but it's true. It's you against the world. It is true, especially with the social media, because you have your phone all the time. So it's only you consuming this entire world's this media, this entire world's content. So it's you against the world. So you need to love who you are, and you're gonna spend the most time with this person. So
Yeah.
it does not depend on what circumstance that you have.
Wow.
And this is subjective. What
That's-
you're describing is materialistic. It's there. It's in the physical plane. You can touch it. You can feel it. You can quantify it. What I'm saying is more subjective, and that should just be there all the time.
Yeah.
In whatever degree, you don't have to be like completely कि मुझे अपने आप से इतना प्यार है and all. That is not what I'm talking about. It's a variation. You can, some days you will hate yourself, some days you will love yourself, but that base should always be there.
Yeah, it's just that, yeah, I got it. It's just that you take a good stand for yourself. Even though a person is criticizing, you understand that how much is it valued, do you want to change? Accordingly to that, you take an action. It's not that अरे कोई आके कुछ बोल दिया तो you, in fact, you react it, you keep it in yourself, you get jealous about it, envy, master plans, man, acceptance, पूरा नहीं. Like you understand what's the truth is, what is the, because sometimes words are deceptive, intentions might be good, many chances that we misunderstand. So
Definitely.
yeah, so I wanted to ask you, मतलब ये question था कि like whenever like if the reason I had conversation with you and the reason I got you was just because the way we answer, like मतलब psychology as a subject हम जब पढ़ते हैं, the way our mind gets tuned, it kind of justifies few actions. मतलब अगर if you don't know the subject, like just talk, if you don't know the subject, it will be like man मेरे साथ क्या हो रहा है, And the moment we know about some subject, it's like, okay, there is something like this happens. Like for example, पेट में दर्द हो रहा है. Everyone are aware of it. They go to a hospital. They know there is something wrong with the stomach. They have this awareness. And psychology as a subject, like for example, you have that awareness, right? Like what happens. So
I would like to think so, yeah.
so I wanted to ask you, psychology पढ़ने से पहले, like the moment before you did psychology and after you did psychology, how was your mindset change? Like did it help you tackle with your loneliness in a more scientific way?
Psychology has been a part of my life ever since I've had enough brains to understand what life is. So it's kind of been the guiding light of
Yeah.
telling me how to lead a good life. I
Yeah.
have always resorted back to
Hmm.
understanding psychology to become the person that I am today. So I cannot tell you how different I am because of psychology, because यही हूँ मैं. I am this because of psychology, and I can't basically know because there was no person who was out there without psychology. I've always been with psychology, and that's, I think, I'm just lucky in that part. But obviously, I think if psychology was not a part of my life, it would have been much more difficult for me to understand life. I come from a very confused family. We are very like emotional family, and हम सबके emotions are on the edge.
पंजाब में हो
So
जी.
exactly, like we are very loud people, we are very
Yeah.
emotional people, and we really have to put our points across. Otherwise,
हाँ.
failure तो लेना ही नहीं है, चुप तो होना ही नहीं है. We always want to have the last word.
Yeah.
So psychology helped me a lot to understand people around me. Psychology helped me a lot to understand why different people behave the way they do, and that also helped me to understand when to react and when not to react. When to know कि this person is not doing to hurt me, this person is doing because वो ऐसा है. Yeah, this thing is triggering that person, and that's why that person did that to me, not because he wanted to go against me or anything. And those are the situations when I decide not to react, because this situations do not demand reaction. फिर आप react करोगे and फिर वो तो spiral down ही होता रहेगा. That will not bring any solution to the table. So psychology has helped me to form better relationships with people around me. That's why I feel like I'm good with solo traveling, because uh, I can talk to people, about them, about myself, and have a good conversation around that. Psychology has also helped me a lot in my low points in my life. The points when I went through, when I lost friendships, or when I went through a breakup, or when I used to have fights at my home. Psychology obviously helped me to cope better with life situations. Psychology taught me a lot of resilience in life. Psychology also taught me a lot of positivity in life. I'm a very big advocate for positive psychology, and that's something I've always thought that I wanted to pursue in my life. And psychology has been kind of like an anchor in my life, telling me ki this is the track I'm supposed to take
Yeah.
to become a happy, healthy, sane, and content person. And if I did not have that, maybe I would be a very lost, I don't know, very hype, lost, loud Punjabi kid with no like anchor and no
Yeah.
grounding in life. I was a very hyped Punjabi kid in my school. Like I was very very emotional. I did not have a control over my. I used to cry like this. Like कुछ भी हो जाएगा मैंने. I would put my head below the desk, and I would just start crying in the middle of like 40 people in the class, and I wouldn't give a shit. I had no control over or understanding of my emotions, of who I am, and I would just like scream like crazy at people. I had a lot of anger issues before also. It doesn't look with the face. I know it's a very shining face, but I did have a lot of
Oh my
anger issues.
God.
And but yeah, psychology helped me to because I studied psychology. I did not feel the need to take an outside help to figure
Wow.
out my life.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have. Yes.
Yeah. And do you think as a subject it evolved all the way from ancient, matlab like from how it was in the past and how it is right now? Like,
Of course, yeah.
can you talk about like how it was with psychologists back in the day and with the people perceiving them in a certain way, and how it is right now? How it?
See,
Yeah.
all of this is very technical. I will try to explain it in a very simple manner.
Yeah.
Before, obviously, psychology was not regarded as something as important as we do,
Yeah.
not nearly enough, but as we do right now.
Yeah.
Psychology if you go like really into the ancient area,
Hmm.
ancient era, I would say that
Hmm.
psychology has been very prominent in Indian history.
Hmm.
We have although if you read any kind of spiritual books or Vedas and all, you see a lot of
Hmm.
connotations of psychology in it and
Yeah.
how to be a good person. Sikhism itself is like a religion telling you how
Hmm.
to be a good person, and it has a lot of psychology involved. Chardi Kala, the thing that I talked about, the first in the farmer protest, it talks about the highest mental state. It talks about the most esteemed mental state that you could be
Hmm.
in, and that is also a part of psychology. And coming down to the recent times in the 80s and the 70s,
Hmm.
obviously psychology was not seen as an important field. It was
Hmm.
more of a field of medicine, and people who went through mental disorders were stigmatized a lot.
Oh.
We are still seeing that a lot in India right
Yeah.
now. We are not very open. We're not an open
Hmm.
society about psychology or mental health. And how I think what I would really put my foot down for is that after the pandemic, I think people are becoming more open to understanding mental health and
Yeah.
to take steps into making mental health
Hmm.
better than they did before the pandemic. So
True.
I think there's a silver lining in all of this, and things are changing for the better for sure.
Hmm.
India itself, when it comes to
Hmm.
studying psychology, has become much better than it
Yeah.
was when I actually started studying.
Oh, that's good,
And
right?
of course, yeah, of course. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it is only going to get better from here. It's a very slow process for sure.
Hmm.
We are not at the speed that we need to be, but it's still in the right direction, I'd say.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much do you think that a person can academically select psychology as subject, or they can read a book, or like understand it and still get the best out of it?
See, if you want to get the best out of it, instead of reading the academic books, I would suggest to read the books of the major psychologists and authors. You
Hmm.
would get a basic idea of what psychology is all about, or how to like applied psychology, how to apply psychology in your life.
Hmm.
If you want to study like psychology from the basics, it's very technical. It's not an easy subject as people think it to be. You can obviously go through the academic process of doing your undergrad and postgrad,
Hmm.
and the sky is the limit. You can go till postdoc to do this. Obviously, if you just want to understand just a little application here and there are a lot of resource material. Like I said, you can just
Hmm.
follow the authors directly, and you don't have to go through the whole academic era. But I would actually encourage more and more people to take up psychology, because it is a booming industry, and we need more healthcare workers, and we need more psychologists, and we need more people to understand other people. And it's just world would be a better place if everybody would study psychology. Like, there is no doubt about it. The world
Yeah.
would be a better place.
Is humanities also a part of psychology?
Humanities,
Yeah.
like the humanities that we had in 11th and 12th.
That's the question. Yeah.
um, Psychology is very much a part of a science stream, even though we do not give it respect. But
Yeah.
psychology is an experimental science.
Hmm.
Everything that we've studied in psychology so far, even though parts of it is theoretical, but there is a very strong experimental based, evidence based
Hmm.
things that we apply in our daily life. So it's very much a science subject than a humanities subject, but it hasn't reached there yet in our country. But hopefully it
Yeah.
will.
And the fun part with psychology is, like, don't you think it's kinda hard to determine quantifying your happiness? Like, for example, when they try to do experiments in psychology, they have to quantify it to some place, or they have to get the data, right? And data is always deceptive. So we
Yeah.
sometimes we are not even sure that how much can we rely on a particular topic, or how much we can't rely on a topic. I feel. Yeah.
Actually, yes and no to that answer. Yes, because all of the feelings and the way we describe those feelings are subjective. That is true. But obviously, in because we use a lot of statistics in
Yeah.
psychology, all the tests that have been made are very rigorous. They have been corrected for errors, and they have been applied on a mass population to find a general understanding of a topic.
Hmm.
So the margin error of it is very, very low. So they are reliable and they
Hmm.
are valid. So you can quantify all of those things. You wouldn't need to doubt the reliability of the test.
Okay.
But obviously, at the end of the day, it is still subjective. But because it is the subjectiveness of it is spread over a mass population, you do understand a general, like you do get a general idea of
Hmm.
whatever you want to quantify.
Wow.
But it's a
Okay.
good question, actually.
Yeah. Oh my god, I got that place. Thanks.
And it did come out genuinely. So yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. I always specify, like if someone compliments me, I make sure that stays for a minute. We talk about the compliment and then go.
We can, man, we can. But it's a very genuine and it's a very, very good question. Because that's the thing. That's where I think the stigma also comes from
Hmm.
because everybody's like feelings ko kaise you can
Yeah.
quantify and all,
Hmm.
but you can.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the thing. And even like whenever I was, because I was particularly very interested into psychology, I thought of taking it, like pursuing it as a career. And then my parents were like, "Arey, matlab, if you really like it and if you're passionate about it, don't go academically." Because like I don't know, they played a mind game with me. They were like, "Such a pyar hai, anyway you will do it. Try to read
Yeah,
it. Like don't go in a conventional way." Did Elon Musk
yeah,
studied aerospace? He did it by himself. They made me, and
yeah,
that made me take bio business as a administration. So that's the reason. So
yeah.
how, in a career wise, how good is psychology? Like if a person wants to opt BA psychology, or like what they
Mhm.
can expect and what they should not.
Okay. See, I would say because I'm very biased towards psychology, maybe I'm not the best person to answer this question because I would always say to take up psychology. But
Oh.
I would say only take up psychology if you have certain kind of compassion to help people, if
Hmm.
you have that knack to help people because it's a very exhausting field. It's going to
Hmm.
demand a lot of your time and then your energy and your mental effort. You need to be really sure that this is where you want to be because like I say the same thing about doctors. You really need to be a very responsible citizen to become a doctor because you can't fuck
Yeah.
up somebody's life. And if you are ready to be a therapist, you need to be sure that you
Yeah.
cannot play with somebody else's mind and feelings, and that's where your responsibility and your moral responsibility of becoming a therapist comes in.
Yeah.
So you need to be very sure that this is what you want to take. If you don't want to become a therapist, there are also obviously other ways you can attach yourself with psychology, this experimental psychology, this theoretical psychology. You can teach psychology, you can become a supervisor in psychology, you can train other people to become a therapist when you
Hmm.
and or you can open your own company and your own they're like the ventures in it are immense. There are so many things that you can do about this. This is incredible. You can get into academics, you can
Yeah.
teach psychology to the new generation. There's like you have to do PhD for that to become a professor in it. You can train other people to become psychologists. For that, you need a Psych D, which is a doctor, not in doctor in philosophy, but doctor in psychology. That's
Wow.
Psych D.
Wow.
That's also a 4-year course after you've
Hmm.
done your master's. So it's a very, very long time to do
Man.
that.
Are you planning
So
to do
yeah,
that?
I have to. Yeah, yeah, I will do that.
Man.
So I will be Buddha before that, but yes, I have made my peace with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
and Psych D will also give you like a
Hmm.
world class license. You can practice literally anywhere in the world with that license. You can just like relocate to a new country. Other than that, you can become a counseling psychologist. So counseling psychologist doesn't deal with mental disorders. They deal with everyday problems and everyday social problems, self-esteem, confidence, and relationship problem, marital problem, everyday problems that can be helped with counseling. Other than that, you can let me think about it. What else? You can be I have to think about it. What else can you do with psychology? You can open your own mental health consultancies and all. You can help people to understand. You can like create
Yeah.
awareness programs. You can open your NGOs. You can open your place where you can organize events to create awareness about psychology. That is also a very strong field. So if you're not
Oh.
into giving therapies, but you are very good with event organization and all, and you're really into helping mental health problems or
Yeah. Got
creating
it.
awareness
Hmm.
about that, you can just go into that direction.
Hmm.
Other than that, you can be an author. We need more people who can translate psychological principles into
Wow.
words and
Do you have
applications.
plans to write books?
I have so many plans, man. Don't ask me. I don't know how many of them are coming true, but
Yeah.
I have plans for life. But
Yeah. I think
again, I'm
you
not attached to those plans. So those plans do not decide my happiness.
don't you know the last time we did the podcast you did disclose it in the public that you're going to release a book about the solo traveling.
Did I? Or
Yeah.
did you say that? I did not claim anything like that.
You told
But
yes I will do that. I have the
I
recording.
I
It's
said I can commit to it. Yes, that's for sure. But life is very long, man, and I'm very busy right now, so I don't know.
Ma-
So yeah. So there are a lot of things that you can do when it comes to mental health, and I
Yeah.
think it's a very very booming industry. You can and the best part I forgot to mention, you can just go directly into ministry of it. You
Wow.
can devise policies. You can make psychology a more stronger subject in the educational system that not a lot of people do right now, and it's one of the things that I do want to do. You can get directly into policy making. You can strengthen the core of
Wow.
understanding and propagating mental health in your own country. So the way you can like pursue it is as good as any other subject that you would pursue right now. You just need to have enough like motivation to do it. It requires damn more motivation than any other job for sure, because all of the other subjects have a very like a stable strict
Yeah.
line that if you do this you will be successful.
Yeah.
But that's not the case with psychology. In psychology there's a lot of your self motivation. There's a lot of work that you need to do by yourself to be good in it. So if you're ready for it, do it.
Wow. That's amazing.
If you're not ready for it, psychology will make you ready, so just do it anyway.
We're promoting it anyways.
I am.
Of course, you're in that field.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
personally give you tuitions. I really want more psychologists and therapists to come in the future.
Yeah. This is the tuition for me right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, do you have any recommendations? Like, let's go in this route also. Any TV recommendation? Sorry, shows, books, or anything that a person should
Oh,
watch.
I think I will not recommend, because I only recommend to people who have, like, I have very strong recommendations of people who have already studied psychology for a long time, because I recommend a lot of like psychological thrillers and crime series and all, and I recommend on a very niche based basis. So if
Oh,
you want, we can have like a completely different talk about it when we are
yeah.
just talking about what kind of series we should watch depending upon what kind of thing we want to understand in mental health. But to
Wow.
understand general psychology, I think I don't have like very specific recommendations, at least not for now. But if I do, I will let you
Yeah, of course, we will do another one. That
know.
will, it's like I'm doing a podcast on all your interests. Solo traveling is done. This is a psychology.
I love to talk, and if somebody can listen to this, I have nothing better to do then. This is literally my life, to talk for the rest of my life and have somebody to listen to it.
Yeah, and I'm a very good listener. That's a good thing about
Thank
me.
you.
I was complimenting myself. Um,
I am also, you are the one who is giving me this
yeah.
opportunity to have you complimented.
Yeah. So, and what are the points that we did not cover? Like actually, I think all the pandemic situation problems, like it can be compassion fatigue. Like that's a really cool word to listen to. Yeah.
There are actually a lot of research papers around it that you can study. Compassion fatigue is very, very common in healthcare workers. So just
Yeah.
get as much information about it as you can.
Yeah, cool. And the thing is, we talk about compassion fatigue, insecurities, and loneliness, and how social media plays with your mind. We spoke about psychology. We actually went through all the roller coaster of the pandemic and how the mind goes through in this pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there are still more and many, many more points to touch, but for
yeah,
now we've got like a feel of how it has been.
yeah. It's great. And okay, let's end it with a personal note. Not personal note, personal question. Again, I got another question right now in my head. So, so what do you do like on a daily basis? How does a day in like it's a completely out of the box question, but yeah, I'm just curious. How does a day in a trainee clinical psychologist look like?
So right now it's very different from what
Hmm.
the original day is supposed to look like, because of the pandemic. Obviously, all
Yeah.
the classes are online. So right now we're just studying case studies.
Yeah.
You're a trainee clinical psychologist, you would actually be in that site, you will be in the hospital, and you will be dealing with those cases firsthand, and you will be a person escorting a
Hmm.
psychologist. But right now, because obviously you can't virtually see those patients, privacy and all, so we're just studying case studies that have
Wow.
already happened before. So we
Okay.
are trying to cover online, and we're trying to understand the disorders, the symptomology of disorders, why did they come. We have to question ourselves कि अगर हमारे पास actual में ये patient आता तो what all things we would ask that patient to understand that patient
Hmm.
and all of that. So we're just learning all
Hmm.
of this, obviously in case study method, but I'd prefer to
Hmm.
do it on site with real people in front of me. So can't wait to do
Yeah.
that.
Cool. Like even in your friend circle right now, even though in your family, if someone has this problem, they would be just coming to you, right? Is
They
that?
do, and I tell them I will charge you, man. It's not for free. I am tired of giving out free advices, so please, you be my patient and I'll be very happy. But it
Yeah.
happens very commonly, yeah. But that's the thing,
Automatically,
like you can't, huh?
automatically it comes, right? Like, अरे
Yeah,
यार
but
मतलब.
it's like you can't answer. They like they will bring such a big question, ki this has happened. What am I supposed to do? And I'm like, you can't answer that in like one paragraph. You need to sit with me and we need to talk about it. We need to go to the base of it, to the root of it.
Hmm.
But some people just want like quick gratification, to have a like a temporary fix. And I don't do temporary fix. I'm like, if you really want to solve the problem, you have to come and you have to sit with me and we have to talk about it. I'm
Wow.
not going to give you liner to fix the temporary feeling that you have.
Wow.
So yeah,
Cool.
so my family hates me.
Yeah, fine. After they look at this, they're gonna hate you for sure.
But it's how it is. You can't like take therapy in such a free way. Like you can't think
Yeah.
ki ek line samajh ke your life will be fixed. You
Yeah.
need to sit with it. You need to sit with yourself and the
Yeah.
person
So
that
when
you
a
love.
problem comes to you, how like again I'm asking another question. So when a problem comes to you, how does that you solve it in phases? Like it can be an emotional or a career based. Like if a problem comes to you, what type of structure it goes through which you consciously you validate or solve the problem.
See, this is also a very big question because the it's uncountable ways. There are uncountable number of problems that come
Hmm.
in front of you initially. After that, we try to understand exactly what the
Yeah.
problem is. But a person, for example, a stranger comes to you. In that first session, the stranger has to first tell me all the basic problems, the main problems that the person is going.
Hmm.
And in the next sessions, we try to understand, okay, वो basic problem तो थे, but उसके root के नीचे और भी बहुत सारे problems हैं that we need to fix. Then we understand it slowly and slowly in the
Yeah.
next sessions. So मेरा first ideology तो यही है, when the first
Hmm.
like the person who comes in, you can't know everything about that person in a one single setting. There are going to be layers that you need to unpeel and you need to understand and you need to work on them step by step. So if somebody comes with emotional problem, you obviously or somebody comes with a physical problem, that's the most common one actually. So sometimes physical problems manifest because you have emotional problems. So they come to you कि doctors ने कहा है कि हमें तो कोई problem नहीं है, but they've sent us to you and all. So that's where you start with a physical problem, but you know that the physical problem is a very, very small part of the actual problem. So
Hmm.
you go into the emotional side of it. You try to understand when did the first emotion trigger, why did it trigger, what had happened over there, if the person has resolved this conflict or not resolved the conflict, and if not, then you make the plan about it.
Wow. I
So
mean,
those
no, no.
questions.
The question was if it comes to, I mean, if it comes to in the sense when you face a problem.
Okay. If I face a problem,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, oh, ooh. Now I think I'm very uh, quick in solving my problem
Yeah.
than I was years ago. But it's also because I have a lot of acceptance of life. I have accepted that life can happen in many very, very miraculous ways and
Hmm.
in very, very devastating ways that you can't imagine. And I've stopped expecting from life. Like I know whatever you will expect will not gonna happen, is not gonna happen. So I've just like stopped expecting and like ठीक है हो जाए तो हो जाए.
Hmm.
So I'm more like देखी जाएगी kind of a person. So
Hmm.
whenever a problem arises, I accept that there is a problem. I accept that it's causing emotional pain or physical pain, whatever kind of pain to me.
Hmm.
I accept that this will take time,
Hmm.
and sometimes I accept either I can do something about it
Yeah.
or I can just learn to live with it, and
Oh.
that's how I progress. If I can't change it, then I learn to live with it, and with time it goes away. If
Hmm.
I can change it, then I make active steps to make that feeling go away.
Wow.
So that's what I do. Yeah.
Cool.
And this format works with everything. I'm telling this is a rule. It works with everything. I'm not kidding.
There can't be sub questions in it. Like it is actually very well formatted, very well structured. Works
Exactly. What
everywhere.
psychology gave me. Yes. Throw a problem at what I follow the steps.
Yeah, yeah. So thanks. How much time are we hanging out? Oh my god, 1.5 hour. More than that, I think.
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah.
I
So
can't. I have no idea.
wow. So thanks a lot for doing this. Thanks for bearing with me. I was asking a lot of questions.
I'm very glad that you did.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for watching it, and please validate me. Of course, at starting we did know, but like, comment, subscribe, validate me well enough.
Yes, yes, please do that to Anirudh, and he's been fantastic. He's an amazing host, and you did have a lot of good questions, so I am gonna give you that.
Yeah,
And yes, please
yeah.
like us.
Same
I
here.
don't know what to say.
Whatever you
You're
say.
the host.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. Thanks for taking my lines also at last.
Just do whatever he is saying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.